Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Dreamscape Aerials is the name of the company and the website too. Go right to dreamscapeaerials.com and check out Joseph Mazzola and his company. He's the founder of this professional drone service provider based out of the heart of Long Island, working throughout the tri-state on so many amazing things, wide range of clients, and he can help you with his drone services. Today, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Doing great, Jill. I can't believe it's our last episode together
I
already.
know. It's been great because as a fellow Long Islander, a guy that I connect with, we know the same places, to see his work and, being a fellow Long Islander, we have an extra special bond, no offense to the others, but, and I'm amazed at what you do and your work. And let's first and foremost get people to know that your work is, videos, we're talking 3D areas. You're doing so much in the film business, real estate business, and you share what you do because you say it better.
Some would say too much, just like you said. Yeah,
No, no, no.
Dreamscape Aerials is a professional drone service provider, a drone imaging company I started back in 2020. It's been a little over 4 years now, and I've gotten the privilege to work in a variety of different sectors, from creating media for TV and film to marketing promotions, as well as 3D mapping and modeling. Drones are really at the pinnacle of innovation right now, and it's so exciting to be a part of it and just get involved in all these different spaces. And it's funny, we're going to talk about my attending Commercial UAV Expo in Las Vegas last week, which is why we had to push off this last episode. But being there on the ground floor of where all this different innovation comes to meet, I've seen a lot of new tech, made a lot of new connections, and some of the advice going around is to be a specialist in one thing. But with every introduction I made, I pride myself on being a little bit of a generalist and having the opportunity to work in all these different spaces. Variety is the spice of life, I guess.
Oh my goodness. Well, I love that you're here and the fall is here. What do you have in mind for what's happening with your services? What is going on? I know you did that fall festival a while back, which I got
Yeah.
to check it out. That's at the Queens County, what is that called? The zoo?
Yep. Queens County Farm. And
Thank
Jill,
you.
while I was away, I got some really awesome news
Oh,
regarding that
that's right.
project.
Go ahead,
It
go
was
ahead, go ahead.
actually featured in the New York Times last Friday. Some
No
of my
way. Awesome. Congratulations on
Thank you
that.
so much.
And I forgot
Uh,
you were away. I want to hear everything. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I guess to start with, this podcast has been really great to recap the busiest part of the year in terms of the summer season. And I really appreciated the opportunity to kind of fill you in on my projects from week to week, what the outlook looks like for the drone space in general. There's still a lot of change and a lot of new laws coming out that are going to govern the industry.
Yeah.
One of my biggest clients this year has been Race Awesome, which is a local race organizer here on Long Island. As I mentioned, we filmed the Long Island Marathon for them, and some of our footage is actually going to be in a feature film coming out next year of that event. That said, we have several more races on the docket with them over the coming months. Their Turkey Trot, for example, the Great South Bay Run, Suffolk County Marathon. And next weekend, it's looking like we'll be helping cover the Wantagh Warrior 9/11 5K. And I've also got a contract out for the Cow Harbor Run, one of the most popular in the country, which is hosted in my hometown of Northport. So hoping the Chamber of Commerce will bring me on to cover that. But I think the biggest opportunity I'm on the cusp of right now is a little bit of a serendipitous one. So about a month ago, I was reached out to by a marketing company out of Los Angeles. They had a digital billboard that was going up in Times Square. So I got started on a couple applications to get that approved for them. Unfortunately, their ad time ran out, but not before I already submitted an FAA waiver. So though that client fell through, I got the FAA approval and I passed it on to another client that works with digital billboards and that sort of thing, and they're super interested. So right now, we're hoping to do our first ever Times Square project in the middle of next week. But first, we need to get our New York City permit again, as well as an approval from the Times Square Alliance, which seems to be the nonprofit that governs anything going on in Times Square. So to be right in the center of everything, super thrilled and excited.
Oh my God. Now, hold on one second. Now you got me. Times Square Alliance. It used to be, hold on, hold on. That is awesome. That is fantastic. Hold on. What
Thank
was
you.
his name? I used to work with him. Oh my gosh.
Joe Papa?
Is that it? Yeah, that's. I'm like, I gotta search my email. Can I pull it up while I'm on with you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because we used to have to seek, permission as well when we would do shoots there as well, like for the New Year's Eve ball drop and stuff. So we'd always have to like call
Wow.
each other. But that's awesome. Holy cow.
It's still going to be a little bit of a challenge because my operations over people waiver is still under review. So I
Yes.
just provided them with the RFI, tell them describing the kind of operations we do. And once they give us that approval, we'll have a little bit more flexibility. But for now, I anticipate getting there with my crew. What we'll do is we'll cone off a little area. That way the public isn't walking through our operation zone, and we'll just stay within the bounds of that. And I think, even being limited to that, we'll still be able to get some really great content for our client, and it'll be another step forward for us as being a lead service provider in the New York market.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much. This is exciting stuff. And by the way, where'd you go on vacation again? Hold on.
A working vacation to Las Vegas in Nevada. Made
How
sure to
was
have a
it?
bit of business and pleasure.
Was it fun?
Oh, it was so great. I've been to a couple other conferences in the past. SIOP, SIOP, the Society
Okay.
for Industrial Organizational Psychologists, was my first one. So I went through the ringer with networking and attending sessions, and I was ready to go for this one. So we attended a couple of different ones. Most was focused on workforce development, just given my background in training and personnel management. I think this is going to be a breakthrough area as the industry continues to grow. There is a huge need for drone pilots across the country. And to be involved in such early stages, I think it's going to help standardize the industry in a big way. So I did that. I attended some sessions that were more focused on entrepreneurship, future licensing. A big part of the conference was also talking about unmanned traffic management, or
Okay.
UTM, which is a new acronym I was exposed to. But again, Jill, this is flying cars we're talking about. Give it a few more years,
Yeah.
it's going to become a reality. And I want to be on the front line of that.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. I'm excited to hear more. Yeah, we talked about that last time. That was the Judy Jetson. I just can't believe that's happening. That is just insane.
We will see. I didn't see any of those on the showroom floor, and it
Okay.
was over 100 degrees every day I was there. But they actually did some live demonstrations at Cornerstone Park, which is about like 30 minutes away from the Vegas Strip. So I get there, and the first thing that happens is I run into a colleague from the Melville area here on Long Island. Wasn't expecting that, but made so many great connections. There's people working in so many different sectors, and there seems to be a lot of opportunity, particularly on the training side. I've interviewed with a couple other companies to be a learning designer and contractor
Hmm.
for them, helping to standardize their courses. And even drone soccer is going to be a huge part of that, particularly with our training programs here on Long Island and sourcing vendors, moving away from Chinese manufacturers and relying more on American developers.
Got it. That's so cool. I love your job. I love what you have coming up
I
here.
do
And
too.
no, and by the way, you're self-made. Could you just share just for those new timers your background?
Sure. Yeah. So my original area of focus was psychology. I got my bachelor's at the University of Albany, made a lot of great friends there. But, right out the gate, I didn't have a firm grasp of what I wanted to
Hmm.
do. But I guess that job hadn't really been created yet. So finally caught up to it. But I went on to get my master's at Hofstra in industrial organizational psych, which has, given me some firm footing to become a consultant, work in management, and assist in recruitment, selection, training and development. So many different areas to pull from. But now it's really starting to come together as a merging of my passion and interest with my academic background, which I'm also passionate about. But it just feels like such a new space, and I'm hoping to make some really positive contributions there and help us get further along.
Yay. I'm excited for this. And I want to know what's happening in the upcoming seasons. I mean, winter's coming. How does that affect your business? Where are you headed for that? And what are some of the types of things you're still able to work fully, right? The drones work in cold weather too?
Yeah, they do, but in any extremes, whether it be heat or cold, you do have to manage certain parts of your equipment, from the battery life to not getting any frost on the propellers. So there's plenty of precautions you need to take. And documenting those sorts of things is something I'm trying to standardize as well, particularly for an engineering client. We spoke a little bit about them over the summer, And now that the season is finally over for East Hampton Airport, we should be back out there filming the remainder of that project.
Yeah.
And of course, being a huge energy infrastructure site, they need to see our safety protocols, our operations manual, and a risk register, which I put all together for them to review. So hopefully we'll hear back soon. But like you said, with the changing of the seasons, I think there's always something beautiful to capture by drones. But work-wise, I do anticipate some changes. We may get projects here and there. Real estate agents tend to not want imaging as much in the off season, but for industrial purposes, there's a lot of work. I just got qualified and onboarded to work with a company called Talon Aerolytics. They're hiring about 80 more drone pilots to fulfill their asset inspection.
Oh,
So I
wow.
might be spending bouncing between the coasts and working in San Diego while also returning here to fulfill my clients. And we have a bunch of things on the book for October, but with enough planning, I think I can do both and see where time takes me.
That's awesome. Well, always a pleasure to have you here. And let's talk more about some of the drone services that you're able to help people with today. And unfortunately, it's our last show. So I don't know if you were doing like a recap or what else you had in mind, but the platform is yours.
Thanks, Jill. Yeah, so I would say a bulk of my work is creating marketing content for a variety of businesses. Like I said, the race organizer was a big one. Real estate is another important sector. Working with local towns as they're developing their social media presence is big. And just creating aerial art for general purposes. It's something I'm passionate about. It's what took me from being a recreational drone operator to a Part 107 licensed one that I am now. And anything that's creative, I want to be a part of, whether even if it's a little beyond what I can do from a video production perspective. We have a great team. I've been onboarding a number of associate pilots and partnering with other organizations, started relying on a great video editor who used to work for 106.1 BLI.
Oh, I used to work at BLI.
It's a small world, right?
Yeah. Who are you working with? Do you know their name?
So her name's Sarah Rosenberg. She's no longer with them, but
Okay, neither am I.
friend of a
But
friend.
my email address is still jillwbli@aol.com. I worked there like 25 years ago.
Wow. Well, you may
I
know
love
Ali
all
Ali.
that.
She's a close friend of mine. My first job ever was at a local movie theater
Wait,
here in Elwood. So we met through there and have been friends ever
was she on
since.
the air?
She is. She's on in the mornings, and now she's going
Yeah.
to be taking the afternoon time slot too.
Oh, I know of her. That's why I know the name. I haven't been there in a long time and I don't listen to the radio much, but I do know who she is. That's so cool.
Shout out to Ali Ali. Yep.
Hi, Allie. Oh my God. All right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is cool stuff. And by the way, on your website and your logo, is there anything new that we should be searching for?
Yeah,
I'm on there
you can
now.
find us at www.dreamscapeaerials.com or on social media at dreamscape_aerials. Lastly, if you want to just chat on the phone, give me a request, 631-645-7596.
Perfect. He knows the drill. It's like Jill's asking me to recap who I am, what I'm doing, how do we you
Yep.
got it. Yes. So he's our aerial artist and our professional drone provider here doing so much. I know you do also weddings. You do a lot of real estate inspection sites
Yes.
too.
I think since we last spoke, I didn't get to fill you in on the Labor Day weekend wedding, which was a 2-day engagement. We were up at Cedar Lake Estates near Port Jervis, kind of where Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania meet. Beautiful property, really nice couple, was able to get some great cinematic work done for them. That was through a third party, but we also do full in-house work where we'll contract additional videographers and a production crew to capture everything.
That is exciting. Oh my gosh. I love hearing this and seeing videos. Is there any updates on? I haven't been on your Instagram in a while, but I'm assuming you have new stuff.
Yeah, I haven't had too much time to update it lately. I did share a post last night that I took during the Long Island Marathon recently. It was of the 9/11 memorial at Eisenhower Park, which was, just in remembrance of today. It's been very solemn, and I'm sure you can agree. It's just one of those flashbulb moments that really stays with you. You can remember what you were doing when it happened. And, well, I don't really like flying as a result of it, but doing my
Where
best.
were you? You were a youngin'. How old
I
were
was
you?
in 5th grade at the time,
Yeah.
and I remember my mom waiting for me at the bus stop. I think there was a haze that we could see from here in East Northport.
Oh yeah, it was everywhere.
changed society forever. And my heart goes out to all the victims of that terrible day.
Did they tell you in school when it was happening?
They
Did you know
didn't.
about it?
Just-
Fifth
They
grade, I'm
told us
trying to
there was an
imagine.
outbreak of bees outside. I guess we were a little too young to fully grasp what was
Oh,
going on.
of course, of course. I was working in Melville at a job for it was an infomercial job for some workout band. I'll never forget, we were just glued to the TV. Like I was 20, I guess, or 21. I don't remember exactly, but like watching, like what is going on? And such a solemn day, not just only for us in New York, but worldwide. And wow, it's a sad day. And it's 23 years, I think it is, right? 23 years, yeah. I was listening to some of it this morning in the car, and it just talking about the children talking about their grandparents, and it's just like wow, like the grandkids who never got to meet them, and the restrictions after that in the air changed dramatically for air for back then there were
Of
no
course.
drones. Were there drones?
No, well, I mean, there's always been a sort
Well,
of drone out there, but
yeah,
not like we have today. But it's why we take working in New York City so seriously, and why I totally understand where law
yeah.
enforcement is coming from. And in the industry, on the social media forums, we see a lot of people doing it the wrong way. Someone was just bragging about flying over the Freedom Tower just the other day, and he was out of the country. He was wondering if remote ID was going to come back to bite him in the butt.
Ah,
And it's people like that that are giving us a bad name. And, we just want to work in accordance with law enforcement, check all the right boxes, and work within our means. So it's been almost a year now since my first New York City project, and we just are building up to it. And hopefully soon enough, we'll be one of the best out there.
wow. Thank you. Yeah, for sure. And you're on your way with all your work, and you have to see it to believe it. I wish we could see. I don't know. You're sharing your screen today. You don't have to, because a lot of people are just on the podcast side. But like, I mean, his work is fascinating. My favorite is still that Montauk Lighthouse shot that's on your
Mine too.
website. I don't know if it's still there, but right, that
Oh,
was
it
the
is.
opening. Yeah. Hmm.
Yep. Around this time last year, we filmed a wedding out there. We're able to leverage the permit to get those kinds of shots, and very grateful for that. But I can't really share my screen today. What I will say is our website's still, in a constant state of development and improvement. We're trying to integrate the Aerial Advantage Academy content, our own in-house learning provider. We have a goal of creating an asynchronous on-demand course that people can take at their own pace
Hmm.
to prep for the Part 107. And we're trying to get the ball rolling again with Long Island Drone Soccer. We still have one more activation at the Smith Haven Mall, which I believe is
Hmm.
slated for October 5th right now. And hopefully we'll be able to hold that date. We're probably going to try a different option too, where we don't charge to the public, but we're working with the retailer we worked with to be able to allow people to sign up if they're interested to buy the drone soccer balls for themselves. And that way we can at least create a little bit of a supply chain there and continue generating the interest.
Love it. Thank you for that. And also, if you are just tuning in, Dreamscape Aerials, can you share the other you taught me about it. I forget the name of it, but it's like the 3D modeling, or what you also do for,
Yeah,
survey land.
photogrammetry.
That's what it's called. Thank you.
I just did one the other day for a company called Trace Air, another third-party service provider, but there's like a whole suburbia going up in Manhasset right now. So we flew at the legal limit of 400 feet above ground level,
Oh,
took
wow.
about 100 photos. They all get stitched together into one comprehensive top-down image with ground control points in there to confirm accuracy that the engineers will use to monitor the project, make sure the measurements are right, and also just monitor the site.
Got it. All right. Well, in our last 5 minutes together, what did you want to say to your listeners?
I'd just like to thank everybody who's tuned in. It's really like I've been pouring my heart and soul into this and documenting my journey this far. It's a really exciting time. It's a very transformational time. I'm personally going through a lot of changes here in New York, but I want to stay in New York. So moving into a new apartment next Friday. Want to continue being a reliable provider. And we've had some great reviews come in that I think is going to help with the search engine optimization and internet traffic towards our site. Regarding partnership with PBN, we'll see what else comes down the line, but we're going to get a billboard outside of LaGuardia and the Holland Tunnel for 2 weeks. So I better get
That's
cracking on.
impressive.
Yeah.
Oh my
Probably
gosh.
take out a permit to fly and get a shot of that just to preserve it. But ideally, if we catch some people's attention, hopefully that will lead to more leads as well.
Perfect. Well, it's always a pleasure having you here. I know we say it's like till we meet again and not goodbye, but till next time. But I mean that. So tell me how we can contact you, please.
As I said, through my website, www.dreamscapeaerials.com, or on social media at dreamscape_aerials. Most active on Instagram, trying to figure out how to fix the Facebook because got locked out of that one. And oddly enough, I got a lead through TikTok recently.
Oh.
Need to keep up with that one. Didn't end up getting it. It was for Fashion Week and it was a little too short notice, but maybe next time.
Awesome.
We'll see what the future holds.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. And oh, wait, this is what I had to tell you. You were away. I went to Northport. I thought about you a week and a half
Oh,
ago. I went to
great.
this restaurant. It's called Arlo.
Arlo, yeah, that's where I joined the chamber. They had a meeting there.
Holy, as
Good
such a, I
restaurant.
never heard of that place. And you go up there on the hill, and I'm just like, that is a beautiful restaurant.
Sounds like they could use a drone tour through the facility.
It's beautiful. All right, thank you so much. But I did think
It's
about
been
you.
a pleasure, Jill.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you.
See you soon. Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.